If you train with kettlebells long enough, eventually those forearms are going to get pretty tight. It's really common, and it's something that we want to try and keep on top of. So what I've got here is just some equipment and different tools that I use to help me keep my forearms nice and mobile and feeling good, just so that I don't end up getting any wrist or elbow, or I've even seen shoulder and neck issues caused just from those really tight forearms. So we'll hop right into it here. First thing I've got is an Olympic barbell. Now this is really simple. I'm just going to take that empty barbell sleeve, put it right down on my wrist, and I'm going to treat this just like I would a foam roller. So just nice and easy, roll it up and down that forearm. If there's an area that's really tight, I can just kind of hang out there and let the barbell sit. And I can do this for maybe a minute or two, like that. And then I can turn my hand over, do the same thing here. So again, just rolling up and down. Again, where you find somewhere that's maybe a little tight, you can just hang out there for a bit. Just like that. It's a real simple way to warm up or cool down if you're in a gym or you have access to a barbell. So again, a minute or two kind of each side for each arm. Okay, so next, I've got just some lacrosse balls here. Pretty basic stuff. So I can do the same thing, just rolling that forearm out so I can put that lacrosse ball underneath and just kind of move my arm over that ball. Again, where I find somewhere that's maybe a little tighter, what I can do is push down hard and then open and close that hand a few times. Okay, and I can do the same thing kind of from this angle now, so I can push down, roll that ball out like this. Or if you have two lacrosse balls, you kind of kill two birds with one stone here. So I'm kind of sandwiching that forearm in between the lacrosse balls. And again, just play around with it. You'll know where it's tight. And just kind of hang out there. So barbell, lacrosse balls. We can use kettlebell for that mobility as well. You're not going to want to go super heavy with this. But we can put that forearm down, grab our kettlebell. And again, just kind of move it around on there. Obviously, you're not going to be able to roll up and down, so this is going to be more for specific spots. But just having that weight on there can really help. And if you find that having the bottom of the kettlebell on there isn't really doing much, maybe it's just too global of an area, what we can do is use that handle. So we sit down, and now I have that handle, and I get much more kind of specific little areas. Just like that. So again, with the kettlebell, it's a little bit more difficult to, roll up and down, but if you have like a specific spot, having that kettlebell on there can be really helpful. So next, I've got this foam roller here called the roll gun. If you can see, it's got kind of these little divots in it. And so what that is designed for, well, you can use them for a variety of different things, but for our forearms specifically, we can put our arms right in those divots and roll back and forth like this. So it's much better than just a straight foam roller. Because of that divot, it kind of hits the muscles a little bit differently. So for some people, this is going to be enough. Others might need to use a little bit of help. So from here, I can keep some extra pressure on that arm by putting my other arm down on it. So again, just pushing down extra with this arm, like that. And you can play around with it, hit it from different angles. So I can go palm facing down, same thing. And again, this is going to be a little bit better than just a regular foam roller because those divots, you're really able to get into the muscles there. Next, I've got some voodoo tape or whatever you want to call it. You can get this stuff at pretty much any sports store now. And what we do with this is we wrap up our forearm. So if you have somebody there to help you with, to help you wrap it up, that's going to be a lot easier, but you don't necessarily need to have somebody. So what I do is I just hold on to that end like that, and then wrap it up somewhat tight. You don't want to go too crazy. So I can wrap up that whole forearm. Tuck that just underneath there. Okay, and now from here, I could just do some kind of extension and flexion with that wrist. Squeezing that hand up and down. I can go into an actual wrist stretch. So palms face down, coming forward. Or switch that up so that my fingers are towards me. Come back. And what I want to do is just really try and put this wrist through as big of a range of motion as possible while this voodoo band is on. And then once I'm done, you'll know when you're done. If it's tight enough, it'll be pretty tight, pretty sore. We can just unroll that. And then we can do the other side the same way. Okay, and then finally, we've got this guy here, the roll flex. This one's a little bit more expensive, but it's the best tool for forearms that I've come across. And so what you can do here is you can adjust kind of the tension by blocking this thing into different areas. And what it does is just like when we have the two lacrosse balls, it's going to hit the forearm from both sides. So I can put this down, I can squeeze this, and then I'm rolling that forearm through, just like that. And so it's really digging in this yellow part right here. I don't know if you can see that too well, but it's got the 3 different kind of knobs on it. And it's really digging into that forearm and hitting it really good. So I could do a few times like that, and then turn it around so that the yellow part's on the outside. And again, the harder I squeeze with this hand, the more pressure there's going to be. So like that. And then again, I would repeat on the other side. So with something like that the roll flex, that's the kind of thing that if you do that every day, it's really going to pay off. So maybe it's just 10 or 20 rolls on each arm, each side of each arm every day. But doing that is going to be a great way to really prevent those issues before they happen. Same thing with the barbell, just a minute or 2 on each side if you have access to one. These are things that they can help you if your forearms get to a point where you're losing grip strength significantly or you're getting some joint issues. But ideally we want to just do the 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes of it every day just to stay on top of that. So I hope this helps. I hope you find a tool or two that can alleviate some pain if you're dealing with issues or prevent it, ideally. Yeah, give it a shot and let me know how it works.